Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new episode of the NASCAR Heat 5 Career Mode. I hope you're all having a great day. Today we go racing here in Indianapolis for both the Xfinity Series as well as the Cup Series for the Brickyard 400. But first, here is the final official unveil of Chase Elliott's Napa Auto Parts number 9 McLaren car for next season. I wanted to show you guys as soon as I could. This was of course made by Lantion and he did an incredible job with this paint scheme in my opinion. Let me know what you guys think of it. I'll put his Twitter and YouTube in the description, so make sure to check him out. But we also have some McLaren news as well to come along with this. They will be expanding to a 3-car team next season, and they have signed Sam Mayer to a 1-season deal. Of course, you guys know Sam Mayer currently is a rookie at Trackhouse, but they will have to find a new driver for next season, as Mayer will be teammates alongside Eric Jones as well as Chase Elliott for this next upcoming season of the career mode, as well as you guys know by now the final season of the career mode on the channel before the new NASCAR game releases. So we come through now into the actual race weekend here for the Xfinity Series side of things at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Not very often we actually get the same track for both series anymore, but here we are going to Indianapolis in both Xfinity and Cup. And I called my shot in the last episode. I said we are going to win the Brickyard 400 here in this episode in the Cup Series. So that is the goal, and like I said, I called my shot. We're going to make it happen. We're going to give it everything I have, but of course we have the Xfinity race to settle first here in the Indiana 250, where Paul Menard, he started a little bit outside of the top 10. The car was very tight in the corner, so he was having to deal with that as really his main issue. So unfortunately though, he was on the inside, which gave us that good opportunity here to get a pretty good start now as he went down this back straightaway. Currently it was in 98 of Tony Bradinger out in front. She has quite a few wins this season as well here in the Xfinity Series. I think with 4 wins or something like that at this point now, as we go down towards turns 3. And Paul was making up a good chunk of ground very quick here in this race, now up inside of the top 10 as he went down into turns 4 behind that 11 of AJ Allmendinger. So he was making up a lot of ground. Things were looking very good, looking like it was going to go in our direction, and he even might have a chance to work his way all the way up to the front of this race before it's over. But unfortunately, a little bit later on, we would actually run into some trouble here where Paul was 3 wide down the front straightaway into turns 1 alongside Ty Majeski and the 1 of Max Gutierrez. And right here you see Paul pushes way up the track, and he's going to pay the price. There's some contact. He goes all the way to the inside wall. No caution, of course, because nobody crashes. We all keep it going in the right direction, and Paul's going to get the car back collected. But of course, we lost a ton of track position, and this was pretty late in the race, so we had no chance really to gain anything after this. So we come through out of turns 4 now on the final lap down the front straightaway. So it would end up being actually a pretty disappointing result here, unfortunately, for Menard, as he would come through to cross the line there outside of the top 10 to finish in the 19th position. So unfortunate, but there you see the rest of the finishing order. Tony Bradinger ended up finishing in 2nd behind Ty Gibbs. Of course, as you guys know, he will be replacing Denny Hamlin next season in the career mode. So Gibbs picking up yet another win for him here in his Xfinity Series career. It's been a little bit since we've gone to victory lane with Paul Menard behind the wheel, but hopefully we can change that soon. But now we come through into the Cup Series here for the Brickyard 400, where we had the crown jewel paint scheme back on the car now once again, just like we did at Charlotte in the Daytona 500 earlier this season. Beautiful scheme made by High C Creations on Twitter now as we come through to start our qualifying lap. I have a lot of confidence coming into this race. Hendrick Motorsports as a whole, we've been getting faster and faster in the last probably handful of episodes now, and it went over into Bristol in the last episode. Unfortunately, we came up just short of a race win, basically centimeters short of a race victory, but we come through to cross the line with the 51.356, and we qualify P4. We shattered the goal here for the Brickyard 400 qualifying, and this puts us on row number 2 on the outside with Harrison Burton on pole, Kyle Larson, Cindric, myself, and Alex Bowman rounding out the top 5 there. As you see the rest of the qualifying order, we have Quinn Helf in our car today here. We're still replacing the injured Daniel Suarez. He qualified P19, so Quinn Helf getting his good opportunity here in our car now as we get ready to go green here for the Brickyard 400 at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Alright boys, it's been a good kind of stretch of races we've been having lately. I'm very confident with what we have today. I called my shot after last week. I think we're going to win today. Let's go get it. And there you hear myself over the radio to the team getting ready to take the green flag here for the Brickyard 400. You see, right off the bat, 2 drivers going to the back of the field, and that's going to be a Penske driver of Ryan Preece in that 2 car who failed at pre-race inspection, and then the guy who drove that car last season, Brad Keselowski, he failed technical inspection, and that number 41 Stuart Haas Ford Mustang now as we get ready to take the green flag. So Keselowski, though, and Preece both already locked in the playoffs with their wins now as we get ready to go green on row number 2 on the outside alongside Austin Cindric as the green flag is out, and we are underway for the 3rd crown jewel race of the season. Now right up in front of us, Harrison Burton already locked into the playoffs. As you guys know, the playoff situation getting very, very tight with these new winners we've been having. We've had a few drivers luck into wins this season, probably a good 2, 3, maybe even 4 times. So that's really messed up this playoff grid, and you got a guy like myself who I think we're 4th in the points, and we're on verge of getting eliminated from playoff contention. Kyle Larson, he's well up inside the top 10 in points right now, on the outside looking in completely for the playoff situation here. So he has to win pretty much as well. He's got to look at that right now as we go down into turns 3. A very good start for us there. We were able to clear the 33 of Austin Cindric as we came through now into turns 3 and down into turns 4 up the inside of that Brandt Chevrolet Camaro of Kyle Larson. Can confirm Larson, he will remain at Hendrick Motorsports next season in the career mode. I mentioned a while back that both him and Elliott might go elsewhere, but it's just going to be Chase Elliott at the time being. We still don't know exactly what our plans are, but you'll have to wait and stay tuned there. As you saw myself give a big push to my teammate of Larson to get him to the inside of Harrison Burton and get clear. And then now on the back straightaway on the 2nd lap, I make a move up the inside of the 19 of Harrison here, and we're trying to get up into that runner-up position. Every single point right now, as long as we do not have a win, is extremely, extremely important. So we got to get every single point we can in stage 1, stage 2, and that 3rd and final stage. Preferably, we could have won last episode in that photo finish. I honestly should have just put the 20 in the wall right off the bat out of turns 4, and we probably would have won that race. But you guys know at Indianapolis here, it is very, very hard to make these passes on the inside, especially at the front of the field. And I was having that issue, but it wasn't too much of an issue. Now on out of turns 2 on lap 3, we were able to complete the pass on the 19 of Harrison Burton by the 88 of William Byron. He was now up into the mix, and I could tell right off the bat he was going to be a force to be reckoned with all race long here in the Brickyard 400, because he had a lot of speed and was sticking with me. Both myself and William would run down our teammates of Kyle Larson now as I look to the inside of him down the back straightaway, and I wanted to get aggressive. I want to make moves. I want to get to the lead and try to get the stage win so we can get one of those playoff points. We don't have a lot of playoff points right now, of course, when we have 0 wins and I think only 2 or 3 stage wins, so we only have 2 or 3 playoff points. Now, what's the craziest part about the way the season has been is we're still in contention to win the regular season championship. We've been talking about how bad of a season it has been. I've been seeing you guys mention how bad of a season it has been. We're still in contention for the regular season championship, by the way, now as we're 3 wide for the lead out of turns 1 there. You saw me slide up nearly into the side of Larson. Byron takes that opportunity, slips through on the inside, passes both myself in turns 1 and then Larson out of turns 2, and now William Byron in that number 88 Exalta Chevrolet Camaro for Earnhardt Johnson Racing moves up into the 1st position now, as now finally all of a sudden, as soon as William was able to get to the lead, I easily clear the 5 of Kyle Larson, so it would have been way nicer if we could have done that probably 2 laps earlier now. But now we settle in behind Byron. Actually, him and myself open up a bit of a gap to Kyle Larson. When I say that, only about 4 or 5 car lengths or so between myself and the 5 of Larson behind us, but now just a handful of laps to go in this 1st and opening stage. So we're running out of time to get that lead from William Byron. It is so hard to make those passes. Preferably, I would get a chance to look to the outside and see if we can make that work, but I was forced every single time here in stage 1 to the inside. So now 4 laps to go. I know we really have to get aggressive if we want to get that lead, so I sail it off into turns 1, but clearly not enough. Byron fights back to the outside. I was actually caught quite off guard by that one. I thought I had sailed it in enough to where he was just going to settle in behind myself. Not the case here as we come through out of turns 2 down the back straightaway, but now into turns 3 on lap 8. This time though, we do clear William Byron into the corner. I really sent it off into the corner, but got on the brakes heavily at the same time, and we made it work. So now clear and trying to check out from the pack here as we exit turns 4. Certainly looks like, though, all race long, William Byron is going to be a major contender for us, but the caution comes out here, and that is going to end the 1st and opening stage a few laps early and give us the stage victory moments after passing William Byron and clearing him for the lead. So instead of settling for 2nd place, we get the stage win. Immediately, you see myself making very slight adjustments there. I put the wedge down a little bit. I put that right rear tire pressure up just a tiny bit to match what the right front was at. So it looks like Haley D Deegan would be bringing out the caution, and can confirm she would be out of the race after that incident. Now, could not find in the replay mode, of course, what the crash was, but it was probably some type of tire issue. Now, as we go into the pit lane P1, come out P1 and get ready to lead the field to the green flag here for the start of the second stage. Now, is once again, as usual, as stage 2 is underway, it is time to get amped. There you have amped here from Indianapolis Motor Speedway in the Brickyard 400. We are no stranger to winning at this racetrack. We've won this race for the first time in our career. This is where our first career win in the Cup Series for the NASCAR 8.5 Career Mode came at, and I believe we won it, last season or something like that. So I think we are looking for our third Brickyard 400, but out of turns 4, a bit of a slip up right there. You did see me get into the outside wall, of course, during amped out of turns 4, and I was really dealing with out of turns 4. The car was very tight, and that would allow William Byron to hop on the opportunity right there to get by on the inside. So now back into the runner-up position we would go, and we would have to put that fight back to Byron, though. We had enough of a gap to the cars behind. Chase Elliott had now moved up into the third position, so he was showing a good chunk of speed, but I realized there was enough of a gap here where we could really put the fight to William Byron and probably not give up too much time, but unfortunately, once again, I am struggling so much on this inside line, and I know my only opportunity is to just sail it off into the corner, but there's always a risk when you do that, so I was trying to, of course, keep that to a minimum. But here now down the back straightaway on lap 7, back up that inside of Byron now ahead of him as we go down into turn 3. This is our opportunity right here to get clear. We send it into the corner and we do clear him, but we slide up too much. I shot way too hard into the corner, and now that allows William Byron to get back in front of me as we make a little bit of contact right there as we exit turns 4. So that really allows him to clear me, and now that brings Chase Elliott into the mix behind us in that number 9 Napa Auto Parts Chevrolet Camaro now. So on lap 8 though, out of turns 2, same situation. I put the fight to the back of Byron. I try to look to the outside right here. He leaves the outside open, which is exactly what I wanted, but unfortunately not quite good enough of a run here as the caution actually comes out moments before we were going to be in front of the 88 of Byron. This is going to force everybody into the pit lane, including myself, of course, for 2 cans of fuel, as well as 4 fresh tires, and we're going to get those repairs done on that cosmetic damage there on the right front of the car. But very unfortunate that that caution came out when it did. If it honestly would have came out a second or 2 later, that would have been really nice, but still the car was looking really good at this point now, as it looks like Christian Eckes might have brought out the caution. It was not Ross Chastain that brought out the caution, because you can see here he stays out. So Ross Chastain becomes the hero of the day and decides to stay out in front of everybody. So I was a little bit concerned, of course, being the guy stuck behind him, but at the same time, you know, I thought about it. William Byron is really at the disadvantage here, especially if he doesn't clear the 47. So we only have 3 laps to go in stage 2, and our chances of now maybe winning the stage as the 47 clears that 88, the chances of us winning stage 2 dramatically increased, because you're going to see myself go up the inside and already clear the 47. They're 3 wide in the middle behind us. Larson really got messed over hard there. Byron side by side with Hamlin. Side by side is, of course, the number one thing we want to see behind us now, as Hamlin in his final Brickyard 400 tries to pull off the victory. Now he's been close many times in real life and has had issues, but out of turns 4 on lap 11 right there, you saw my car once again get really, really tight. So I realized that we're going to have to adjust this car at the end of stage 2, because it is just too tight, especially on the short short run, and specifically out of turns 4 now, and that allowed Byron to just about get to my outside, but then I make a mistake into turns 1 where I just couldn't hold the bottom. Once again, got tight, and that opened the door for Denny Hamlin to look up my inside, and we make a little bit of contact right there into turn 2. I came down on him, that was all on me, and then as we exit turn 2, that allows Chase Elliott and Kyle Larson to follow through, so now they go up into second and third. We drop down to P4. Byron would look to my outside, and by the time we came through around one more time to start the final lap of stage 2, Byron was now in front of us as we went down into turns 1, and Elliott got past Denny Hamlin into turns 1, so Hamlin drops down to second. Larson to the inside of the 11 FedEx Toyota Camry as we go down into turns 2, and he tries to move up into that runner-up position here as we come through out of the corner. We got the colleague car of Justin Haley just behind us there, having once again another good run. He's been running really strong lately here in the last few races of the career mode now as we get past that 88 of Byron and up the inside of Denny Hamlin as we go down into turns 3, and we might clear that 11 of Hamlin. Yes, we do. So we exit the corner now up into that third position here as we go down into turns 4. Do we have anything for Kyle Larson now? We know how important stage points are for not only myself, but for Larson and Elliott, but it does not matter because I got tight again. We hit the wall, and now Byron gets clear. Hamlin to my outside. It's going to be a drag race to the line, but Hamlin ends up getting us to the line. And once again, we give up some more stage points there, and honestly, what could have been another stage win for us. So definitely very, very frustrated with that result, but nonetheless, still, we know we have some serious speed in this car. That's frustrating, boys. I'm sorry. I just got really tight. We need to loosen this thing up. There you hear myself on the radio, and we're going to get on that right away now as we're going to loosen the car up a little bit now because it was just unbelievably tight, specifically out of turns 4, and it felt like it took a good almost 5 to 7 laps at times to really get good out of turns 4. So it was definitely frustrating, but hopefully now that we got these adjustments in the car, that is going to pay off here for the start of this third and final stage, the one that matters the most. Chase Elliott won stage 2, and he leads the field back to the green flag here as we are underway with 13 laps to go from the Brickyard 400 to Indianapolis Motor Speedway. We have that advantage of being on the inside here for this restart, so we know our chances of moving up to potentially 4th or even 3rd are pretty good right now as we've got Brad Keselowski, who started at the back of the field. He is actually the next car behind me, so we know that 41 has some speed. Keselowski had a really rough start to his debut season with Stewart Haas Racing, but then he picked up a win at Richmond, and then he's been pretty consistent ever since then. So I think he's actually going to be a pretty legitimate contender in the playoffs, but with so many different winners, only one win really for the majority of the playoff grid, and the most wins we have right now is 2. Multiple drivers have 2 wins, but still, with only 2 wins as the most right now, this is going to create probably, I think, one of the closest playoff grids we've ever had here in the career mode. There's we got a little bit tight out of turns 4, but that wasn't anywhere close to as bad as what it was before those adjustments. So I was already impressed with what I was feeling in this car now as we make a move up the inside of Kyle Larson as we go down into turns 1. Right up ahead, Chase Elliott, of course, leading the way over William Byron, but as we come through down into turns 2, we have that opportunity to potentially clear that 5 of Kyle Larson. I'm going to give him the room, and sure enough, though, out of turns 2, we get clear of Larson up in front of us side by side for the lead between William Byron as well as our Hendrick Motorsports team to Chase Elliott. Hendrick Motorsports, other than Alex Bowman, having a really strong day. We got, of course, myself, Larson, Elliott up here in the top 5, and Alliance car of William Byron for the Earnhardt Johnson Racing team. Bowman, unfortunately, running pretty poor, as well as the number 77 Going Racing car with Quinn Helf behind the wheel, not running the greatest right now, but still having a decent day here as we come through to turns 4. A very awkward situation for the Going Racing team, but I can confirm Daniel Suarez is going to miss one more race, and that will be in the next episode at Iowa, and then he will return from injury after that one and be back in that car full time and hopefully make it still into the playoffs. Now, as you can see, myself still having these battles here with Chase Elliott, William Byron now, as we were approaching just 10 laps to go in this race, and we were kind of close on field. We were likely going to make it to the end by about maybe half a lap to a lap, so it was pretty close, but I was confident we were going to be okay. But now 9 laps to go, we get an opportunity here to put the fight to the inside of William Byron down the back straightaway. A great race overall for his team in that beautiful Exalta paint scheme. We haven't seen that scheme a whole lot lately, but it still looks great as ever. Shout out to Renato who made that scheme, and if you're watching, Renato, hope you're doing well. It's been a while since we've talked now as we come through out of turn 3. You see I sent it way too deep into turn 3, left the door open for Byron to slip back the inside, and he gets clear as we exit turns 4. So we tried, we failed. We got to try again now on lap 33. We have enough of a gap to Chase Elliott. He's just got enough of a car to hang on, so we really know that it's really the 88 we're fighting against now as we once again say sail it off into turn 3, but this time I get on the brakes enough. We get the car planted there on the inside, and we get clear of William Byron finally here as we go into turns 4, but right there we slip up just a little bit out of the corner once again, dealing with that tightness in the car, but we stay clear this time. So I throw a block there, making sure that 88 can't get in front of me. You see, he's trying to look to the inside. I was throwing a block there all the way down to the bottom, and now as we go down into turns 1, 7 laps to go as we try to drive away and open up the gap, but once again right there, the tightness kicks in. The door is open for William Byron as we exit turns 1 down into turns 2 side by side with our Alliance teammate right there as we get very close there. We're going to have to side drive to the extreme here down the back straightaway, still side by side with Byron, but the roles reverse. Instead of myself on the inside, Byron's on the inside. I'm to the outside now as we head down towards turn 3. We got to give him the space into the corner, keep it a fair game, but now as I go into the corner, we make some contact with the 88 of Byron, and then I slip up, and that allows the 9 of Chase Elliott to come through on the inside as we go down into turns where I back out, just try to reset here and get ready for a launch down this front straightaway. We get a tremendous exit right there, and I immediately fight back to the outside. Byron now is in front of us still, but he's going to leave the door open this time. I'm going to take full advantage. I'm going back to the outside here with 6 laps to go, and as we go down into turns 1, we're going to once again make contact with the 88 of Byron into the corner, and that once again as well allows the 9 car of Chase Elliott to get clear. So down the back straightaway now with 6 laps to go, we get up the inside this time of the 9, who decided to cover that top very well this time around, and now already into turn 3, we're clear and up the inside of the 88 again. A great battle between myself, William Byron, as well as Chase Elliott here in the closing laps. Byron already locked into the playoffs. Myself and Elliott both in a position that's very close. We both would love to win and get ourselves locked in as we exit turns 4. Still not quite able to get that lead though from the 88 as we side drive very hard, coming to 5 laps to go. Running out of time very quick here in Indianapolis, but we still just got one opportunity is all we need really to get clear and run away with this lead, but once again just can't quite make it happen right there. Byron doing a great job defending here on the second lane as we go down into turns 2, nearly clear right there as we exit turns 2, but he sticks at my quarter panel, and once again we're gonna fight side by side down this back straightaway. A tremendous battle between myself and the 88 of William Byron, with Chase Elliott just chilling right behind us now as we go down into turns 3, once again trying to get clear, and once again can't make it happen yet, but right there out of the corner, yes we do. We get clear of the 88 of William Byron and force Chase Elliott up his inside, and that was the opportunity right there. Once they got side by side, I knew we could open up a gap between myself and those 2 guys. So sure enough, they would continue to go at it. I break the draft right here down the front straightaway. Finally out in front, in position to win our first race on the season. 3 laps to go. We had opened up the gap even more as they were continuing to battle it out side by side into turns 1, just hoping of course that it would stay green to the end, because now there is no way any of them are going to run us down as they continue to fight it out for that second position. Our first win of the season coming our way here in just a few laps time, but the caution of course comes out now as that first win of the season is not going to come easy, and you see 3 laps to go. It looks like it might have been Ryan Blaney, I think, is set there for the caution, but 3 laps to fuel with 3 laps to go. So it's going to make it very, very hard here to make it to the end of this race, but with the caution coming out, we actually will have 1 extra lap of fuel, so we are going to be okay. But I think it was actually Ryan Priest potentially that brought out that caution now. So of course, everybody's staying out here, getting ready to go green for NASCAR overtime, and there's just only one thing we can do. Just get a good launch and just protect the inside at all costs, and hopefully Chase Elliott, William Byron, or Kyle Larson, or maybe even Brad Keselowski get up into the mix and start battling it out with these guys that are surrounding us here, and that allows us to get away here in the final couple laps. Nonetheless, though, we haven't really been in a position all season long to win a race until the last episode of Bristol Motor Speedway, and all of a sudden we go all season long without a chance to win, and now we're going to go back-to-back races in position to go for a race victory. We threw it away in Bristol, we led laps, we didn't have the winning car in Bristol, but we were still in position to win that race here as we exit turns 1. A very, very strong launch on that restart. Byron, Elliott side by side for the runner-up position. Keselowski now up into 4th. He was able to get in front of Kyle Larson, but we exit turns 2, and you saw me take a brief look there in the interior car to see what the fuel was looking like, and I was able to determine we have no issues with fuel. And Byron though gets clear for 2nd place. The fuel light comes on, but we're going to be 3/4 of a lap or so to the good, so no concerns whatsoever. Just hit our marks here and bring it home to our first win of the season now as we come through out of turns 4. William Byron, can he close that gap? He has a draft, but he's not closing a whole lot here as we come through down the front straightaway. And now as we come through to cross the line, white flag in the air, and we are leading the way down into turns 1. Many times we've talked about this season, how it's definitely been probably our worst start to a Cup season ever, and it's just not gone well. Nothing has gone our way this season. We've had bad luck. I've made stupid mistakes. We've gotten speeding penalties now, and it's just nothing has gone right. We've had cautions come out at the worst time possible when I tried short pitting and whatnot, and even tried staying out longer a little bit a few times here and there, and then a caution came out and still messed us over. So nothing has gone right this season, but now everything has gone right here in Indianapolis, and here we are out in front, out of turn 3, enough of a gap over Byron to not have any concern in the world as we come through turns 4, and now as we exit turns 4, the same track that we were able to pick up our first career win in the 20 car for Joe Gibbs Racing a handful of seasons ago. Well, now we're going to get that comeback victory and put this team back to where it belongs here in Indianapolis. What a finish, what a race it was overall. We had an incredible battle between myself, William Byron, Chase Elliott, and it went for like the whole length of that third and final stage pretty much now. So overall, a great race. Very happy about that. And in my 2 previous victories at this racetrack, I mean, first of all, what a better track to get that comeback victory than Indianapolis. Now, we have finally got back to victory lane. It took way longer than I anticipated, of course, as a defending champion of the Cup Series, but we finally get back to victory lane. But the 2 previous times I won here, I completely forgot you're not supposed to do burnouts over the bricks, and look at this. I made sure right here we just casually stroll across the bricks. I don't do any burnouts across the bricks this time. That's the first time in a career that we've done that. It took me 3 wins here to get that part down, but hopefully you guys are happy about that. I remember in the previous 2 I got a comment here and there about it saying, Gary, you can't be doing burnouts over the bricks. So this time I finally respected that, and there we go. We blew the engine. But overall, what a race. I hope you guys enjoyed that a lot. It was cool to put this crown jewel paint scheme specifically in Victory Lane, that High C made. A beautiful car every time we put it out on track. Now, as you look at the rest of the finishing order here on your screen, some rough days for some drivers, but of course it doesn't matter for us now. We are locked in the playoffs finally. It took us forever to get there, but I'm going to show that playoff grid because now that we have got that win, we might be safe, but there's still, of course, our Hendrick Motorsports teammates who have to try and make it into the playoffs, because that is Hendrick Motorsports' first win on the season, which is unbelievable to think about. It took us 20 races. That was a 20-race winless streak we were looking at, and finally we returned to victory lane. But now look at that. We go from on the verge of being out to now all the way up to 7th on the playoff grid. So very happy with that. But you look at the playoff grid down into the kind of points area without wins, and you got Chase Elliott. You only got 2 cars right now. Elliott as well as Bowman. 533 for Elliott, 512 for Bowman. Gregson's only out by 3. Jones out by 7. Larson's barely out as well, so it's going to get very close. Before we end it, of course, I'd like to say thank you to the Going Racing members on the channel of MJ, Joseph 9001, Timothy Arline, Bubba Jr., Brett Durward, Dark Gengar Gaming, AJ Vasura, Russell Dixon, Kenneth Barnett, Dana9302, as well as King Matt XL. You guys helped me out so much, and I really do appreciate it. Thank you for the continued support, and hope you guys, of course, enjoyed the win. And thank you to everybody who watched this episode. I really do appreciate it. And I hope you all have yourselves a great day. I'll see you guys in the next one for a brand new track on the Cup Series schedule at Iowa. Have a great day, everybody.